My husband cheated with my stepsister, so I exposed them and crashed their wedding with her ex. I never imagined my life would take such a twisted turn. My husband, Jerry, and I had been together for over a decade, and while our marriage had its ups and downs, I always believed we were in it for the long haul. That illusion shattered the night I discovered his affair with my stepsister, Karen. It all started with subtle changes, late nights at work, hushed phone calls, and a growing distance between us. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself that stress was to blame. But when the lies became too blatant, I followed Jerry one evening after he claimed to be working late. Instead, I found him at a bar, laughing intimately with Karen. The realization hit me like a freight train. My world crumbled in an instant. I spent that night in tears, heartbroken over the betrayal by not just my husband but my own stepsister. The next morning, fueled by devastation and anger, I went through Jerry's phone while he slept. The messages and pictures I found confirmed my worst fears. The affair had been going on for months. Screenshots were taken, evidence was gathered, and my resolve hardened. My mother, my rock, was the first person I confided in. She was livid, not just for me but for the audacity of Karen, whom she had always treated as her own daughter. We devised a plan to expose them in the most fitting way possible. A family gathering was arranged at my house under the guise of a casual dinner. That evening, I stood before my family, heart pounding but voice steady. I connected my phone to the projector, displaying the damning evidence for all to see. Gasps and murmurs filled the room as text messages and intimate pictures flashed on the screen. My mother's face reflected a mix of fury and sorrow. Karen and Jerry sat in stunned silence, their guilt painted across their faces. When confronted, Karen burst into tears, attempting to paint herself as the victim, while Jerry stumbled through weak excuses. But the truth was undeniable. My stepfather, always a fair man, looked at Karen with utter disappointment and asked her one simple question. "How could you?" I ended the night with a simple statement. I was divorcing Jerry, and Karen was free to have him if she wanted. I refused to be the woman who accepted betrayal with grace. My family rallied behind me, offering their support while Karen and Jerry left, humiliated and disgraced. But little did I know, this was only the beginning of their audacity. Update 2. The unbelievable request. Weeks passed, and I was in the process of finalizing my divorce. The betrayal still stung, but I was determined to move forward. Then, one evening, my stepfather approached me with news that left me speechless. Karen and Jerry were engaged. Not only had they shamelessly continued their relationship, but Karen had the audacity to call my stepfather and invite me to their wedding. As if that wasn't enough, she wanted me to give my blessing and even deliver a speech at the wedding. The sheer gall of her request was beyond comprehension. I was livid. Not only did she steal my husband, but now she wanted me to pretend I was happy for them. My mother, equally enraged, told Karen exactly where she could shove her invitation. But instead of backing off, Karen doubled down, insisting that my attendance would show maturity and family unity. That was the moment I decided Karen deserved a taste of her own medicine. I hatched a plan that would ensure her wedding day was unforgettable, but for all the wrong reasons. Update 3. The ultimate revenge. I reached out to Ron, Karen's ex-boyfriend from college, the one she had once claimed was the love of her life. The breakup had been bitter, but I remembered how much he had meant to her. A quick search on social media confirmed he was single, and after a few messages, we met up. I told him everything about Karen's betrayal and my plan to attend the wedding with him as my +1. Ron, intrigued and more than willing to shake things up, agreed. The day of the wedding arrived. I walked into the venue on Ron's arm, dressed in a stunning gown that radiated confidence. The moment Karen laid eyes on us, her face drained of color. She froze mid-stride, eyes darting between me and Ron as if she had seen a ghost. The wedding guests, sensing the tension, turned their attention toward us. Jerry, standing at the altar, was equally confused and irritated. He whispered harshly, demanding to know why I was there with Karen's ex. But I simply smiled and took my seat, enjoying every second of their discomfort. Karen, unable to contain her emotions, stormed toward us. "What the hell is this?" she hissed, her voice dripping with rage. I tilted my head and feigned innocence. Oh, Karen, you invited me, remember? And I thought it would be nice to bring a date. You don't mind, do you? Ron, ever the smooth talker, greeted Karen with a casual, "Hey, Karen, long time no see." The ceremony unraveled from there. Karen's emotions spiraled out of control, and in a fit of anger, she threw her bouquet across the room and stormed out. Guests whispered in shock, while Jerry, humiliated beyond measure, tried to salvage the situation. I left the venue with my head held high. Justice had been served. Update 4. Aftermath and Reflection. Days later, news reached me that Karen and Jerry's relationship was in turmoil. Karen refused to go through with the wedding, claiming she needed time to think. Jerry, desperate and furious, tried to contact me, but I blocked him. My stepfather, though disapproving of my dramatic display, admitted that Karen had brought this upon herself. As for me, I was finally free. The weight of betrayal had lifted, and for the first time in months, I felt peace. I focused on rebuilding my life, surrounding myself with people who truly cared about me. Karen and Jerry made their choices, and they paid the price. And I had one.